Hello students, good afternoon. Welcome to third part of the chapter structure of atom. In this part we will discuss about Bohr's model for hydrogen and hydrogen like atoms. Okay, so we have already seen that Rutherford's model for atom can neither explain the stability of atom or nor account for the atomic spectrum of hydrogen. So in 1913 Niels Bohr proposed a new model for hydrogen and hydrogen like atoms known as Bohr's model of atoms, and this model successfully explained the atomic spectrum of hydrogen and stability of the atom. So this theory describes the model of atom is popularly known as Bohr's atomic theory. Okay, so by correcting the drawbacks of Rutherford model, Niels Bohr gave a new model for a structure of atom in which both the drawback of Rutherford's, which was stability of atom, and atomic spectrum of hydrogen, which was not explained by the Rutherford, were explained by Bohr's atoms model. So what are the postulates of Bohr's atomic model? We will discuss one by one. First is the element move around the nucleus in a certain specifically permitted circular orbits known as energy levels or energy states. Means in a structure of atom there are certain circular orbits in which electrons are move or revolved. Okay, an electron in a particular energy level is associated with a definite amount of energy. The energy level are numbered as means n equals to 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on, and they are designated at K, L, M, N and so on. Okay, K, L, M, N etc. cells. The energy level closest to the nucleus is numbered as 1, designated in K and so on. Okay? Now, it is the structure of atom in which you can see there is a nucleus at which positive charge is present and there are many circular orbits. They are known as cells, and the value for these orbits is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and so on, and they are designated as K, L, M and O etc. Okay, and in these orbits electrons will revolve. Okay, so this was the first postulate of Bohr's model. Come on to the second postulate. While moving in a particular energy level or energy state, an electron neither lose nor gain energy. So according to Bohr's, when an electron will revolve in a circular orbit, so during their revolution it will neither lose nor gain energy. The energy of an electron in particular energy state always remains fixed or stationary, and this implies that if undisturbed, then electron will move in particular orbit forever, and if you will not disturb their revolution, then it will always will revolve in a that particular orbit without any emission or absorption of energy. Okay, and these type of orbits are basically known are present in an atom, and they are known as stationary energy states. Number 3, only those energy levels or energy states are permitted in which the angular momentum of an electron is integral multiple of h upon 2 pi, where h is Planck's constant. So according to Bohr, he said that only in those orbits electron will revolve for which there will be the value of an integral multiple of h upon 4 pi, means it should have the value in integer, complete integer value like 1, 2, 3, 4 etc. If an electron of mass m moving with the velocity v in a circular orbit of radius r, then its angular momentum is given by angular momentum of electron equals to mvr. Hence, according to the above postulate, mvr equals to n into h upon 2 pi. And after putting the value of all constant, we will get the value of n, and it will be n equals to 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on. So the electron will revolve only in that orbits which have the integral value of n, that is 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on. Okay, thus an electron can have the value of h upon 2 pi, 2h upon 2 pi, 3h upon 2 pi etc. for angular momentum. An electron can never have the fraction value of h upon 2 pi. This implies that the angular momentum of an electron is an atom is quantized, means there should be some value. Okay, now on absorption of energy from the external source, an electron may jump from a lower energy level to a higher energy level. In coming back from higher energy to lower energy level, the electron emits energy, means a electron from lower energy state to higher energy state will jump. When it will go from lower to higher, will absorb energy, and when it will back to their position, then it emit energy. And in that condition, we will find the energy change, means delta E equals to E2 minus E1, and which will be equal to h nu, means it will be equal to their frequency, means how much frequency of energy you are provided to that electron, and according to that the electron will go higher level of orbit. Okay, so energy difference will be calculated on the basis of this. You can see here the energy state E1, energy absorbed E2 minus E1 equals to lower energy state and higher energy state, and that will be delta E, change in energy. Okay, so these were the postulates of Bohr's atomic metals. Now come to the merits of Bohr's atomic metal. So Bohr's model of atom successfully explained the atomic spectrum of hydrogen and hydrogen like atom, and also provided a reasonable explanation of stability of atom. And this is important mean a model. Important means of these models are as follows. Number 1, explanation of stability of atom. So Bohr's model can successfully explain the stability of an atom. According to the Bohr's theory, an electron neither gain nor lose while moving in a particular cell, and this implies that if an atom is not disturbed, its constituent electron will go on moving in their specific orbit forever, and the atom will remain stable. So it was the explanation of stability. Second one, energy of electron in a particular orbit. So he gave a relationship between the calculation of energy for any for any orbit. You can calculate the energy. So the postulates of Bohr's atomic theory enable us to derive an expression for the calculation of the energy of an electron in a particular orbit. So for that, En energy for nth orbits, where small n will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, any cell you can take, you can put the value of that cell and calculate the energy. So En equals to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0 का whole square into 2 pi square me square upon n square h square. So all the terms are given here. En energy of electron in nth level, epsilon permittivity of free space, and m mass of the electron, E charge on electron, and h is Planck's constant. If you will put all the values of the constant, then you will get this relation, that is En equals to 2.173 into 10 to the power minus 18 upon n square, where n square will be equal to the number of orbit. Okay, so in that condition you can calculate the energy for any orbit. Okay, so he gave the an expression for the calculation of energy. Okay, now radius of an orbit. So he also gave a formula for calculation of radius of the orbit, means you can calculate the radius, means distance from nucleus to the orbit. So for that he gave an equation, that is Rn equals to 4 pi epsilon n square h square upon 4 pi square m e square. So after putting all the values, we will get an expression, that is Rn equals to means what will be the formula? Rn equals to 5.2 sorry Rn equals to 0.529 n square. Okay, it will be the formula for calculating the radius. Here you can the value of n, number of cell, you can calculate the radius of that cell. Okay, so it was the formula for calculating the radius of the element. Okay, so he gave these 3 points for the stability of the structure of the atom. Okay, thank you, have a nice day.